This is Desiree, and today I'm going to do a quick flip through of my January Hobonichi Cousin Avec. So yeah, it's already into February here. The months kind of fly by. But this was January 1st. Happy New Year. I found this paper. I think it was my mom's. My mom was Japanese. And it's origami paper. And it was really pretty. And I found it in my drawer. I keep finding things that I don't know I have. So anyway, those are little decorations from that paper. I had tried doing a quick pastel painting, watching a YouTube instruction. And that was kind of fun because I've never done pastel really before. This had an undercoating of, I think I used acrylic paint first, and then a sealant that had a little bit of tooth to it, and then you put the pastel on top, and it was an interesting exercise, so it was kind of fun. So I want to do some more pastel painting soon. And this was just a picture we took in December. Beautiful picture in Washington from Snoqualmie Pass there. So we had just gotten back home for a while, and so I was just trying to play catch up with some of these things. And I guess I did this pastel thing twice, but there's another picture of it. Little creatures, of course, from Little Raven Ink. And just doing some, things with finances and balancing stuff, and, just kind of settling in again there. I had ordered this narwhal pen from Atlas Stationers, so it arrived, and it's a really nice pen, and I did a pen review on it. So that was the pen. And then I was talking about the fact that I have a conklin that is actually pretty flexible, the nib, but I was playing with it, and I hope I didn't push on it too much, because you need to be careful. It's not really made, it wasn't made specifically to be a flex, and it just felt like I kind of maybe had damaged it a little. But then I tried it again later and it seemed like it was fine, but I need to be careful. But that's the most flexible pen nib that I have that's not a flex nib. So anyway, I was just talking about that. Thursday, I think I was just playing around, talking about the recipe journal, and just trying out some of this ink. This was the ink of the year, the Pelican Edelstein, and I think that's in my currently inked. Some of these, are just different samples that I had. This is a cactus fruit, some bright pinks. I also, did a pink sampling there. So just looking at those. This is just different markers I was going through, trying to figure out which ones are still usable and which ones were all dried out. So I just thought that looked pretty bright, so I put that in there. So I'm really liking this sample Sailor ink. Although I noticed that it's very similar to Robert Oster Cherry Blossom that I already had. This was the Yosakura Sailor, and I really like it. It's just a little bit different, but I'm not sure why I like those kind of subtle colors. So, talking about cherry blossoms, this was an old picture of my mom and I in Japan with the cherry blossoms, and it's like my favorite picture, I think, of my mom and I from many years ago. I reserved a camp spot at Cape Disappointment down the Washington coast for March, and it's a really beautiful area. A lot of times it's all foggy and you can't see, but we went there a couple years ago and it was just beautiful and clear, and I could see the mountains really well, and the ocean was just gorgeous. So we'll see if we end up making it there. So yeah, just kind of playing around. This is talking about the currently inked video that I did, and some of the new, the inks that I used. I also was just playing around with some of these deserty colors, and I really would like to do a little bit more of a vacation, not just going back and forth out to Colorado without stopping, but really staying in Utah, around Zion or Bryce or Canyonlands or something. Sounds really good in the spring, so we'll see what happens with that. And then I got a sample. Actually, my son got this for me for Christmas because I had requested it, but it was from the Red Clover Meadow, and it's all natural pigments, earth pigments. It came from Bulgaria, and really pretty, just very earthy. Nice watercolor. I think it was 12 colors there that came in a little tin, so kind of fun. Anyway, I was talking about that. I was really just craving some Japanese food for breakfast, and so I made some miso soup and some rice and egg and kimchi, which is Korean, but we eat a lot of kimchi too. So yeah, so that was just a picture of that. And here, not a whole lot. I was feeling a little under the weather that day. Here is a picture. I think I've talked about this before, but it's really my favorite Earl Grey tea these days, Lord Bergamot from Smith Tea Maker. And that was really nice. And I had a fun afternoon with my son. We went to Uwajimaya, which is a big Japanese store in downtown Seattle. We go there, I don't know, a couple times a year and get lots of good stuff. And they have a really nice bookstore, which has more fountain pens and inks these days. So that was really fun, but very dangerous. And I did end up getting a few new washi tapes from there. And I was really tempted to get Alami, Safari, and some other ink, but I just held off because I got all kinds of fun stuff around Christmas. And so I was playing around with these inks. I'm not sure if you can see this. The reason I put this in is it's a new stamp, Dinosaur Stamp from the U.S., the Postal Service, and it's a lenticular. It's a 3D, it moves around and you can see a different image on there. It's using this lenticular. I know a little bit more about it because my husband used to do some lenticular postcards and sell them. It was just such a fun project to see each one. He took these great pictures, and then you have to take several pictures and put them all together, and then it becomes a lenticular 3D kind of image. So anyway, I couldn't believe that those stamps, the regular stamps, had the lenticular in them. So if someone were collecting stamps, I think that would be a really nice collectible item for them. So what else? I think I was just kind of talking about different knitting, and I'm so excited because I ordered this yarn from Zia Wools, which is Dag's site, Dagmar. And so I was just talking about getting into knitting again. I did these little fingerless mitts a couple years ago, and I'm just like an amateur beginner knitter, and so that was a challenge for me. Small thin yarn and these little tiny I can't remember what they're called now, the little button stitches in there that I really liked how it turned out. But this shawl that I am going to start is with very fine yarn, so it's it's good practice, but a little bit challenging for me. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm just really excited about it. We had a really nice dinner with some relatives, a lunch, and I just made a really nice soup, salad, and bread. And I did order another TWSBI Go with a broad nib, so I've got more of a variety of nibs, and those are just definitely more fun to use with glitter or sheening inks. So, and here is the picture of the yarn, and this picture doesn't do it justice. It is like beautiful yarn, and this is a beautiful combo that I'm going to use to make this Birds of a Feather shawl. pattern from Andrea Mowry, I think. So yeah, so I'm really excited to start that. Actually, I started it at this time that I'm doing this video. I did start the knitting project, what was going along really well, and then when I switched yarn to this really fine yellow green, I don't know what I did, but I got a piece of it tangled, a piece of the long string tangled into the other yarn, and I couldn't get it apart, so I had to take it apart and start over. This is some of that gorgeous silky lace yarn. So anyway, I just restarted it, but it's not far enough along to really show. So anyway, I'm excited though. So then this night we had a sushi party with some friends that we have not been able to, have really for dinner for a couple years. So it was really fun to see them. And I got all kinds of different, foods at the Japanese store. We didn't do any sashimi, which is the raw fish, but we did some smoked salmon with cream cheese, and then some California rolls and some rolls with this fried tofu, like aburange kind of stuff. So anyway, we had lots of goodies, and it was so fun, and it's so easy, especially because I got everyone to roll their own sushi, so I didn't have to do a lot of prep, and it was really fun. And this is the 31st already. I was just talking about wanting to put together a little bit of a bigger box container garden that's higher, so that it's easy to weed and easy to get to. So I'm hoping I can do that. They have some really nice ones. I saw some from Gardener's Supply that are about 3 or 4 feet high. So I want to do that maybe for the spring. So that is it for the month of January. And I will continue with February. Have some other, videos coming up. I try to do a little bit of a mix with everything. But that's it for now, and thanks for watching, and I will see everybody next time. Thanks. Bye.